The file you are about to hear has been thoroughly scrutinized by the Ethics Committee and approved by the O5 Council for release to trusted associates of the Foundation. This is SCP Unredacted. Item number SCP-7654, Level 5, Top Secret. Containment Class, Esoteric. Secondary Class, Thaumiel. Disruption Class, Dark. Risk Class, Notice. Special Containment Procedures. When it is not held in a secure storage locker within Site-01, SCP-7654 is kept on the person of O5-1. If the object becomes lost, retrieval is to be conducted by Mobile Task Force Alpha-1, Red Right Hand. If the object is discovered by another member of the O5 Council, they are to bring it back to Site-01 at their earliest convenience. If a majority of the O5 Council agrees to resolve a vote via coin flip, usage of the object is explicitly forbidden, and Site-01 custodian Hellenistic.aic is to conduct a virtual coin flip. Description: SCP-7654 is a ceremonial coin created by Foundation Administrator and given to O5-1 as a gift. The object's surface resembles 24-karat gold and has a mass and shape similar to a typical U.S. quarter. One side of the object is engraved with the logo of the SCP Foundation, while the other is engraved with the symbol used to represent Thaumiel-class objects. The object's anomalous property only manifests when it is used by a current member of the O5 Council. If the object is flipped into the air by O5 personnel in order to determine a result, the probabilities of landing on a given side will deviate radically from those of a typical coin flip. Testing has determined that the ratio between landing Thaumiel up and SCP up is X ratio Y, where X equals the current number of SCP-001 proposals accessible from the SCP-001 database slot, and where Y equals the current number of distinct SCP objects currently registered in the SCIPnet database. Because of this property, the object has functioned as a near-perfectly weighted coin ever since it was first given to O5-1 after the formation of the Foundation in 19. It is not understood how the Administrator gave the object its anomalous property, nor is it understood how it was able to precisely function in the decades prior to the establishment of the SCIPnet database. However, O5-1 has confirmed that the Administrator's creation of the object was inspired by a particular event in the early history of the Foundation. See Addendum 01 for more details.
Addendum 01. Historical background.
During one of the earliest meetings of the original members of the O5 Council, a vote on an undisclosed matter ended in a 6-6 stalemate. Due to his relevance to the subject matter of the vote, the Administrator was present at the meeting. However, because of their personal relationship, O5-1 recused herself from the vote, and the O5 Council agreed it would be inappropriate for the Administrator to assume his usual role as a tiebreaker for this specific vote. Despite intense discussion, the O5 Council could not resolve the stalemate, and O5-7 suggested deciding the vote with a coin flip. Exasperated with the Council, O5-1 quickly agreed with O5-7's suggestion and produced a coin to flip. Fatigued from long and unproductive debate, the Council acquiesced to O5-1. Because O5-7 had voted yay, O5-1 asked O5-11, the most vocal nay vote, to call the coin flip result. O5-11 agreed and called out tails as O5-1 flipped the coin. The coin landed in the approximate center of the Council room's table. However, this particular coin flip ended with the coin balanced on its edge. All personnel present were completely silent for a period of approximately 7 seconds. At the end of this period, a sudden movement by O5-5 caused a slight vibration in the table, and the coin fell to its tail side, with the head side facing up. This caused an uproar, followed by furious debate among various council members. O5-1 attempted to table the discussion until a later date, but was distracted by the administrator, laughing at a high volume. O5-11 disputed the validity of the coin flip result and demanded that the coin be flipped a second time. In order to, quote, put an end to this farce, end quote, O5-8 changed his vote to yay, and the motion passed 7-5. In the years following the conclusion of this particular council meeting, testing and research were undertaken in order to determine a plausible, satisfactory explanation for the result of the coin flip. No evidence was found to indicate that the coin, O5-1, or the meeting room table were at all anomalous. Many different theories were developed to explain the result, but most were disregarded due to bias or an inability to prove or disprove them. It was suggested by O5-10 that O5-2 had used thaumaturgy to influence the result, but O5-2 vehemently denied this. O5-1 observed that if 2 had magic subtle enough to influence the result of a coin flip, why would he make the coin land on its edge instead of just heads up? Following development of modern Hume theory, O5-11 speculated that someone present at the meeting had used reality bending to influence the result. However, there is no evidence suggesting that any of the personnel present at the meeting were type green anomalous humanoids. The most plausible explanation put forward by O5-13 was that an extranormal event had occurred during the meeting. Due to the nature of extranormal events, it is not possible to definitively prove or disprove this theory. In 2000, a pair of Level 4 personnel, both statisticians from the Records, Archives, and Information Security Administration, RISA, were granted special access to the object's documentation by a 12-1 vote of the O5 Council in order to discover the most plausible explanation for the result of the coin flip. 7 months later, the pair submitted a research paper to the office of O5-1. According to their analysis of all available data regarding the event, it is quite likely that no outside manipulation, anomalous or non-anomalous, influenced the result. The most likely explanation is that the coin naturally landed on its side, a rare but not impossible outcome. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, join my Discord community, hire me on Fiverr, or help support me by becoming a patron for as little as $3 a month. Regardless of tier, all patrons get early access to every single episode. The links are in the description. I don't have the talent it takes to write a skip. All I do is read. Original authors make this podcast possible, so credit to the original author. Their link's in the description. Show them some love as well. Consider becoming a member of the SCP Wiki. Upvote their work, and maybe write a skip of your own. Maybe I'll read it here someday. You never know if you never try. The content of this podcast and content relating to the SCP Foundation, including the SCP Foundation logo, is licensed under Creative Commons Sharealike 3.0, and all concepts originate from scpwiki.com and its authors. This recording, being derived from this content, is hereby also released under Creative Commons Sharealike 3.0.